Truth Seekers, welcome back. I did a video post the other day covering the headlines from the weekend, and in that post I talked a little bit about Trevor Noah since his announcement for The Daily Show was big news. And I pointed out in the video I'd never heard of him, but his name and life numbers were interesting because his name gematria is 55, which is the God number in numerology, and his birthday has a life number of 26, which is the God number in gematria. But in gematria, the word Satan equals 55, not God. So both of these numbers have something to do with God, and in a way something to do with Satan. And also he's born on February 20th, the 51st day of the year. February is the only month with 96 gematria, like Freemason. Anyhow, since doing that, it's become a news story that he made anti-Semitic remarks. And I personally hate the phrase anti-Semitic, probably because it's been used against me so much over the years for pointing out the obvious. And just to give you guys some recent examples, honestly, this whole video blog in a sense, could be dedicated to me being called anti-Semitic. Because what happened to me at the beginning of doing this numerology gematria research is I was sharing it on my Facebook account with my friends, family, the people who wanted to be my Facebook friends. You know, we all have some of those who have Facebook accounts. And what I found out from sharing this information is I got lots of attacks. And then when I showed how it connected this numerology to September 11th, Israel, the Holocaust, and more, the friends of mine that were Jewish just blasted me. I got called an anti-Semite several times, plus a whole lot of other nasty things. And even the Jews who I know in my personal life have shunned me. I have 0 Jewish friends today. I used to have a Jewish friend just around the corner who I used to teach with. And let me just tell you the story about our relationship, because I think this is just such a perfect example of what's wrong with people in our society. This Jewish friend who I taught with, I met him while working at a school. This is how we first came to know each other. We were both new teachers at a school, and we were in there early before the school year started, setting up our classrooms. And I was doing all this cutting with scissors. This new teacher's next door to me. We're not friends yet. He's the Jewish guy I'm talking about. I had to go to the bathroom while I was doing this work, setting up my room. When I came back, I noticed that the scissors were gone that I'd been cutting with. And I thought I'd misplaced them. I was looking all over the room trying to find this pair of scissors. I needed them to finish the work I was doing. Looking all over the room. And after about 20 minutes, I gave up, and I just walked over next door to where he was. And I said, hey, man, I misplaced my scissors. Do you think I could borrow a pair? And he goes, oh, no, you didn't misplace them, man. I just took them from your room. I needed to use them. And I thought, what? This guy just came in the room and took the scissors while I was using the bathroom? I mean, he could have came in and asked to borrow them at any time, but he came in the room and took them while I wasn't there and then didn't tell me. And he didn't know I was searching around my room for 20 minutes trying to figure out where I'd put them. So whatever, I'm an easygoing person. I just said, oh, it's all good, man. He gave me the scissors back. I did the work. But in my mind, I thought, I'm not sure I like that. I wonder if this guy would ever go in my room and take anything else out again without me knowing. Because him and I didn't know each other up until that point. That's how we first met. But then, being new teachers, turned out we lived right by each other, we found out. We became friends. So the first time we went out, he actually asked if I wanted to go out with him and get some drinks after work. I think it was parent-teacher conference day, so we were there later. And at the end of the night, he reached his wallet. He's like, oh, shoot. He's like, I thought I had more money on me. He's like, do you mind if you pick up this tab and I'll get the next one? And I thought, oh, okay, man, sure. Well, the next time I went out with this guy, he did the exact same stunt. And he said, dude, next time we go out, we'll do it big and it's all on me. Well, the next time we went out, there was a next time, he asked to split the tab. He didn't talk about covering anything, even though I'd picked up the first 2 tabs the time we got out. And again, I just want to make the point, this guy is a Jew. Anybody who's ever served, you probably know who the worst tippers are. And Jews are in that category. And it's not a coincidence. Jews are very stereotypical. And just like what I said with my research, every Jew I knew attacked me, even ones I'd known for a long time and liked me well. They just threw me right out of their life for showing them this research about numbers and how it all connected and lined up through the years. You know what 2 of them wrote back? I can still read their comments today in my mind on Facebook. Both of them talking about how their grandparents were in camps, prison camps in the Holocaust. You know, you'll hear lots of people say that their grandparents were in prison camps, but you won't meet many people who say their grandparents died in the Holocaust, because that's all a bunch of bullshit and a lie. And the one who I'm talking about, he actually ended up getting the nastiest out of all the people I knew with his comments. And in the end, he said I was an idiot because I didn't have a degree in this and was just going off stuff I was making up. And then meanwhile, he went to his, his university degree in religious studies and world history and blah, blah, blah to support the fact that he believed all the lies and nonsense. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make, Truth Seeker, is that Jews in this country, in this world, are a touchy group. And for the most part, I don't even feel bad about saying it, a bunch of assholes. I guess I can come clean and say I don't like Jews for the most part, and for good reason. You know? When I first went to college, I was across the hall from a Jewish kid, and the way I met him was a similar thing. I had left my dorm room. I think I was the first person to move in on the floor. I'm always early to do things. I think I was the first one to get in. And I'd left my room doing some exploring, and I came back, and there was a kid standing in my room who wasn't there before, and his parents. And at first I thought maybe he was my roommate. But no, he wasn't. He lived across the hall, and here he is, a Jewish kid with his Jewish father, and they're standing in my room, probably because it was the only door in the hallway open, instead of going in their room. When I come back, they're in my room that has my shit in it. I don't even know these people. Jews. Maybe somebody's listening to this thinking these are lame examples. My point is, Truth Seeker, I've just noticed over the years, Jews are assholes, disrespectful, condescending, having no humility, touchy about everything, quick to throw the anti-Semite term. We need some more Jew humility. So anyway, moving on, this Trevor Noah, supposedly he's made anti-Semitic remarks, and now his name, it's all over the media for his remarks. Before, nobody heard of him. Now his name and popularity has grown through a negative news story. Oh, so common. Think about how many celebrities get their name known by the masses through negativity. This is an old tactic. Let's watch Trevor Noah's comedy and see how he comes across.
In South Africa. That's where I still live. I enjoy it. Grew up there during a time known as apartheid. For those who don't know, apartheid was a law in our country that made it illegal for black and white people to interact with one another.
And remember, the reason apartheid exists is because the Zionist Jews rule the world. The Zionist Jews rule this world. They're very racist. They're very disgusting. They hate every race but themselves. That's why they create false sympathy through lies about false Jew deaths and the Holocaust. Apartheid is a product of the Zionist Jews who hate black people and abuse them on the daily, along with the rest of the races of the world, while all the meantime creating the false sympathy for their own race.
This was against the law. And so this world was awkward for me growing up because I grew up in a mixed family. With me being the mixed one in the family. My mother's a black woman, Xhosa woman, born in South Africa. That's one of the languages with the clicks, Xhosa. So a black woman. And then my father's Swiss. But they didn't care, They were mavericks, fighting the system. My mom was arrested for being with my dad. She would get fined. She would get thrown into prison for the weekend. But still, she'd come back and she's like, woo, I don't care. Woo, come tell me who to love. I want a white man. Woo. Crazy, my mom. It was crazy, And my dad was also like, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate. So he was And so they got together and they had me.
See, True Seeker, this guy's making jokes about whites and blacks. And as you can see, he's mixed. He's both. So this guy makes jokes about race, which is okay. He's a comedian. Notice there's no headlines about these jokes. Just the ones about being anti-Semitic. And we'll get more into that later because we're going to see his jokes are about a lot more than just Jews. It's just the Jews run this world. They're cheap assholes. And they program the brain-dead masses. People like my sister, she doesn't have sympathy for anyone but the Jews who died in the Holocaust. She doesn't care about the Native Americans who were wiped out in genocide. She doesn't care about the blacks and the slaves. But you make some comments in front of my sister about Jews, she'll throw out that anti-Semitic term. We're not even Jewish. The Jews have programmed the masses. They've made everybody Jew sympathizers. Meanwhile, the Jews are fucking all these same people in the ass on the daily, and they don't even get it.
Which was illegal, so I was born a crime, which is something I don't think they ever thought through, because as a family we couldn't live together, you know? Like in the streets we couldn't even be seen together. My father would have to walk on the other side of the road, and he could just wave at me from far, like a creepy pedophile.
All right, man, so I've honestly never even seen Trevor Noah before. This guy seems all right to me. I haven't watched his full skit. As far as comedians go, he seems okay. You know? Let's look at this CNN article on Trevor Noah's anti-Semitism. There he is with Jon Stewart. All right, here's some of his jokes. Almost bumped a Jewish kid crossing the road. He didn't look before crossing, but I still would have felt so bad in my German car. All right, not that funny of a joke. Who cares? So I must make my woman fear my penis. The more you fear something, the bigger it appears. Hey, all comedians have dick jokes. Bill Hicks always made the point that all the audience ever wanted was dick jokes. They didn't want anything intellectual. They just wanted more and more dick jokes. You can tell how angry the Chinese kid at the factory was by how hard it is to open the packaging. You know, somebody could be making a big deal about this joke, but isn't there an element of truth to this joke? It's sad that all the goods we buy are from China. It shows that the Chinese people are being exploited for cheap labor. And why is their labor cheap? Because there's so many of them. Be fruitful and multiply, so the Zionist Jews can make your labor worth less and make you more of a slave. Behind every successful rap billionaire is a double as rich Jewish man. Hell yeah, that's true. Was he going to get in trouble for this joke? That's 100% true. The Zionist Jews are exploiting black men by having them do this nasty rap music. Consumerism, selling their shit. Exploiting their people, dumbing down their culture. 100% true statement. The Jews run the television studios, they run the music studios. Jews are his boss. Jews own Comedy Central, CC33. Jews are behind this whole stunt. This is just one more time for them to throw out the term anti-Semitism. They need that all programmed into the masses. Everybody needs to know that you can't make fun of a Jew. You can make fun of everybody else, but not a Jew. Looking at how successful all the Kardashian women are, I don't blame Bruce Jenner at all. Yeah, why are they successful? Because they're part of the Jew-ran media. Because their dad was part of the Zionist O.J. Simpson trial conspiracy. Oh yeah, The Weeknd. People are going to get drunk and think I'm sexy. Fat checks everywhere. I mean, these are stupid comments, but aren't they true? This is why everybody gets drunk. Easier to just hook up with anybody. ADL News. We wish Trevor Noah success at The Daily Show. Hope he keeps it funny without engaging in jokes at the expense of Jews. Notice he didn't say at the expense of anybody else. Just don't say anything about the Jews. South Africans know how to recycle like Israel knows how to be peaceful. Well, I guess that means they don't recycle at all in South Africa, and probably another well-put statement. What? We can't talk about truth? Israel is the biggest violator of the Geneva Conventions in the world. They're the biggest enemies of peace in the world. See, the Jews are filth, especially the Zionist Jews. We just can't talk about the truth. We can't talk about the truth. No one on this planet should defend Israel, but millions will because they're brain-dead sheep who've been programmed by Jews. Look at this guy down here, Danny Klein. Right away I catch it. Klein's a 33 name. Sad that someone as ignorant as Trevor Noah will host The Daily Show with comments like these. Israel, stand with us. How about go fuck yourself? How about fuck every Jew in Israel? See, those comments don't fly. I'm probably losing subscribers by the second, but that's the truth. The brain-dead masses, they've been won over by the enemy. They hate the truth teller. Here's a name that sums to 39, like the Old Testament, like what the Jews go by. The Twitter business with Trevor Noah is reminding me that having a Twitter is a terrible idea, especially when you're probably an anti-Semite. Is he anti-everything else? Is he anti-white? Is he anti-black? Is he anti-Chinese because he made jokes about them too? See, people don't know how to think. They're just reactionary, programmed robots. One of my Jewish friends, Tim, who also hates me for the research I've been doing and thinks it's all nonsense, even though I keep showing him nothing but conclusive proof. He even makes jokes about Jewish women. He's Jewish himself. He says Jewish women are the worst. So even Jews know about their own women. Oh. And here we go, David Drayman. David 22, Drayman 33. So 55, just like Trevor Noah. What the fuck did you say, Trevor Noah? Got anything else smart to say about Jews, little anti-Semite? Can we just get rid of this word anti-Semite? The Semitic people didn't even believe in the Holy Land of Jerusalem. Oh. Yeah, this is just how they do it. The continual programming. Can't say anything bad about Jews, but you can say bad stuff about everyone else. Here's the gematria on these guys' name. Klein, 33 name. Drayman, 33 name. These guys went and dug up his text from as far back as 5 years ago. And the mainstream media, ran by Jews, using it as one more example to show the evils of anti-Semitism. The word Semite is a 26 word, like the God number. Semitic, 33 word. They do not believe that Jerusalem is the Holy Land, the Semites. So, if you're against Israel and all that, you're really not, or, if you support Israel, you're not Semitic or a Semite. So this whole anti-Semite thing, I'm not even sure it's the right word phrasing. I think it's just used for its name gematria. To be anti-Semitic is to be anti-33. So maybe we should be anti-Semitic. Everybody should be this anti-gang of 33. In our media, there's been a lot of anti-Semitic headlines lately. Shootings at Jewish museums, propaganda and such. Anti-Semitism is not an ally of Zionism. Well, of course not. Zionism is the gang of 33. Anti-Semitism is against being the gang of 33. Truth Seeker, a lot of you guys, you tell me that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. I really think not. This is Bill Hicks, one of his most infamous moments. Somebody in his audience kept yelling out "Free Bird." He got really pissed off, and he went off on this rant. Let's watch it.
Can once again ruin anyone who tries to do anything because you don't know how to do it on your own. That's where we're fucking at. Once again, the useless waste of...
Realize this is from the early 90s, and he's ranting about how stupid the masses are, how they fuck up everything. They tear down everyone who has something worth speaking. It's the same thing today. Just so you know, I agree with this rant 100%.
Fucking flesh that has ruined everything good in this goddamn world.
So I want to point out that Hitler was part of the Gang of 33, part of the controlled opposition. The same people who made up the Holocaust lie are the same people who paid for and funded Hitler. But his statement about Hitler had the right idea, let's just take what that means. That means getting rid of these fucking Zionist Jews. And that is exactly what we needed to do. See, they've been around for forever since, and they've just grown their world around us more and more. Imagine a world without these people. Sure, somebody else might rise up in their place, but we'd have to get rid of them too. This is the truth seeker. We need to get rid of the fucking Zionist Jews. We need a real genocide. These people need to go. They are a burden to this planet. All humanity is suffering because of them. We need real solutions, hard answers, difficult things to do. We are in a bad spot. And until we get rid of these people, we're going to be in a worse and worse spot.
Over, the experiment didn't work. Rain, 40 days, please, fucking rain to wash these turds off my fucking life. Wash these human waste of flesh and bones off this planet. I pray to you, God, to kill these fucking people.
See, a lot of people get offended. They can't handle that, but I know that that's true. We need to get rid of these people, truth seeker. As long as they're here, we're fucked. As long as we sit around on our hands, think the best we can do is go to school, go to work, mind our lives, we're fucked. There's a war that needs to be fought. There's a people that need to be gotten rid of, taken out of power, humiliated. We need to make anti-Semitism cool. Fuck these people. They're filth. So for the time being, I support Trevor Noah. I hope he keeps ripping Jews a new asshole while he has Jewish bosses. People are scum. Feed us the lies every day. Feed us the propaganda every day. Teach us to hate everyone except for them. And all the dumb motherfuckers can't see it. All right, until next time.